Yo, what's good, fam? I'm currently being blinded by this new phone, figuring out how to work it in amazing new ways, and that's going to lead to vision loss, apparently. God is good. Yesterday was amazing time at Carver Park. I wanted to come to the ministry tonight, but I didn't get off work till late, and I'm pretty sure the ministry was out. And I need to get to work in the studio, which is where I am right now. But before I get to working, I wanted to get some daily bread together for you. Just some stuff for you to chew on. Today I want to talk about the will of God. Because a lot of people always talk about, the perfect will and the permissive will and this, that, and the other. And God's will is God's will. If you are in God's permissive will, you're still in God's perfect will. And if you're in God's perfect will, you're still in His permissive will. It's just a way to describe the same coin. Heads and tails are still a quarter. You know what I'm saying? And the best place for you to be, whether you are viewing God's will as His permissive will or you're viewing it as His perfect will, is in His will. Because regardless of what you are doing as a Christian, sometimes we mess up, sometimes we make the wrong decisions. But if you are in God's will, then you're in the best place you can possibly be. So let's back up a little bit. Because a lot of people get this whole thing about will and destiny tied together and mixed up. So God's will never changes. God's will has been since the before time was, and He saw the end of everything when He made the beginning, and He said it was good. That means that your life is already seen through the eyes of God. He saw your beginning and He sees your end. He knows every move that you're going to make. Now, a lot of philosophical people want to chime in at this point and say, does that negate free will? No, it doesn't. Volition is a gift from God. And the fact that He knows what you're going to do does not negate that. Let's look at it this way. You have a roadmap, and you know you're at point A, and you need to get to point B. And in 30 minutes, you'll get from point A to point B. Now, you can go a million different ways to get from point A to point B. God stands while you're at point A, knowing how you went to get to point B. That doesn't mean that you didn't have a choice to turn left on A Street when you turned right. You still made the choice to turn right. That was your free choice. But God already knew you were going to make that choice. That doesn't mean that your choice is no longer free will. He didn't force you to make that choice. You didn't have an only option to turn right. You had a choice. But God knew what you were going to choose before you chose it. So does that mean that from before the world began, there were some people that are going to heaven and some people are going to hell? Yes. Some people are born, and God knows that these people will not make the conscious decision to choose Him and grow a relationship with Him, and thereby spend the rest of eternity separated from Him. Did He create them so that can happen? No, He created everyone so that we would have life and have it more abundantly. But these people will make a choice throughout their life, and that choice is not to grow a relationship with God. God didn't make them for that. But the simple fact of the matter is they didn't make the choice. And because they didn't make the choice, they have to suffer the consequences. It has nothing to do with God making someone for them to fail. But I'm going too philosophical and getting too deep in it. I wanted to sing a song, and I'm going to do that. It's called The Will of God. It's Karen Clark Sheard and her daughter, Kiara Sheard. One of my most favorite vocalists. Love the Sheards. I love the Clark sisters, period. In my opinion, they're some of the most dynamic singers in gospel music, and they're definitely legends. So y'all pray for me. I'm in my karate uniform because I just got out of my day job. So I'm a little off. Master L worked us hard today. The safest place in the whole wide world is in the will of God. Though trials be great and the way seems hard, it's in the will of God. It may be on a mountain peak or in the valley low, but wherever it may be, if God says go, oh go. 'Cause see, the devil's loose in all the world. There's danger in the land. The safest place in the whole wide world is in the Master's hand. It may be on the battle front or in the prison walls, but wherever it may be, if God says